Oh, I didn't know what UFC was. Like, I know everybody know what boxing is, right? I didn't know
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
UFC MMA was until Conor McGregor and Mayweather fought.
Wow.
You know, when
Wow.
they
Okay.
keep going back and forward, I was like, "Who's this white crazy guy?" And then I do some research. That's how I know UFC. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
my like a couple of my friends, they see me fight in the street, and you know what I mean, in school and stuff like that. So they was like, "You got talent. You should do MMA." I was like, "What is MMA?" And then do some research and stuff like that. So that's how I know UFC and MMA.
And it seems like every time you come out here, you're just leagues better than the last time we saw you. And I mean, Bruno has been in this game for a long time, and he was fighting back as hard as he could, but it just seems like you just had all the answers for him. So I guess how did the fight play out compared to how you expected it to play out?
Man, it played out exactly the way I planned it, but I wanted the second round finish. I caught it, but he was tougher than I thought. And this time around, I was doing my film study and stuff like that, so I knew what he was going to throw, and before he throw it, so it was like familiar.
Well, you're the sixth flyweight to get 3 knockdowns in a single fight. So I guess, I think there was like another record. You're like the fastest to like 750 significant strikes or anything like that. So you're 23. You're writing your name in these UFC records books. So I guess just how far are we taking this?
Man, shit, whatever get me closer to the belt. You know what I mean? That's what I want next.
What do you want next for your career? I'm sure you would fight next week if you could. I guess, I think the record is like 5-6 fights in a calendar year. Are you going to try to push for that, or you're going to slow down as you kind of climb up the rankings?
See, I'm not really the guys to call out people, but I heard the UFC is coming to Texas. You know what I mean? And I also heard Moreno will want to fight on UFC Noche. So Texas versus Mexican. You know what I mean?
So if you do get Brandon Moreno for Noche UFC like you want, that's probably a 5-round main event. Are you ready for that? Like the spotlight, the rounds, doing all the media and everything, and then a win over him, that's title shots and main events moving forward.
Is like I said, man, Brandon Moreno, before I got to the UFC, he was always nice to me, you know what I mean? I didn't call him out to disrespect him, like respectfully I want to fight him. But whatever the UFC give me, if they give me him, I'll be ready. And if they want to give me somebody else, then I'll be ready too. So.
And how happy were you to wear that flag when you were walking into the octagon?
It felt great, man. It just, you know what I mean? Having my whole country behind me is just, you know what I mean? On my back is just amazing. It feel great.
Congratulations.
So thank you.
But something with you and your team or with a fan or something, fight night. Did you kind of like a behind the scene good story out there UFC 313 weekend?
Every fight week, we always have fun.
Yeah.
You know how people are like, we about to fight, and then they acting like we not like that. We like to joke around and stuff like that. But the funniest moment was when I walked out. I was about to fight, and I walked out. I saw my mom in the crowd, and I was trying to give her a hug. I guess she was nervous, so she don't know what to do, so she just slapped my face. I was like, oh shit, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I walk into the cage. I was like, oh damn.
Is that on video? Do you have that?
I hope not, because I didn't see my walkout videos, but yeah, because I was trying.
Yeah, they went to a commercial during his walk down.
Yeah.
There has to be a video of that out there somewhere. We need that.
UFC 316 Bruno Silva na Turo man. Keno plus ma Chile baon. My preta do akong Chezu Timara.
DC said that you started training wrestling late, and and we're all very impressed with your grappling defense and just how well it fits into your game. So just tell us a little bit about your grappling background overall.
My grappling things. When I first started training, I hated jiu-jitsu so much that, you know what I mean, I had to ask my coach, I'm like, so I want to be a fighter, but do I really have to do this jiu-jitsu stuff? And you know what his answer is, like, yes, you definitely got to do it. So, I don't really pay attention to the grappling side. So until I got to 4 ounce like 2 years ago. And, when I make my, when I was going to make debut in the UFC, like they scheduled me for a Contender Series. That's when I started training wrestling.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
I heard Manel Kopp in an interview recently was like, no, I thought jiu-jitsu was very gay. So you were of the same mindset as Manel Kopp.
When I walk into the gym, I was like, why do grown ass men hugging each other? You know? Yeah, I didn't know what fighting was until I was 17, 18. So, you know, it was weird for me.
Got to be ready for Pantoja, right?
That's why I was so happy with my last fight, you know what I mean? Like, prepare me for the future and stuff like that, yeah.
So, my man, with that being said, like, were you a fan of it? Like, did you watch, you know, Mighty Mouse in that run coming up? Or now are you, like, kind of catching up with everything? Like, holy crap, I got to watch all this stuff? Or are you a person that doesn't, like, watch people, you know, TJ Dillashaw and Cejudo, stuff of that nature?
No, I didn't know what UFC was. Like, I know everybody know what boxing is, right? I didn't know what UFC MMA was until Conor McGregor and Mayweather fought.
Wow.
You know, when they keep going back and forward, I was like, who's this white crazy guy? And then I do some research. That's how I know UFC, you know what I mean? And a couple of my friends, they see me fight in the street and, you know what I mean, in school and stuff like that. So they was like, you got talent. You should do MMA. I was like, what is MMA? And then, you know, do some research and stuff like that. So that's how I know UFC and MMA.